Hey everyone, I'm Anya Esma. Welcome to another deep tarot dive single card ramble. I know it's stopping to be funny that I don't have a name for this series, but yeah, tarot deep dive single card, whatever. So if you have never seen one of these, I will explain to you that we're going to talk about a single tarot card in this that I randomly draw. This is not a general reading. It's not meant to be advice for the viewer, though it can be, obviously, if it resonates with you. But I'm really just trying to study tarot or teach tarot and ramble about a single card, talk about the symbolism, talk about the numerology of the card, how it fits into the narrative of tarot and all of these good things, and the warning elements, the encouraging elements of the card. So I talk about that. I'm not talking about court cards, however, because I already have a full series on those that goes pretty in depth. So if I draw a court card, we're not going to roll with that. Now let me draw a card. Yeah, it's the Page of Discs. So that's going. If you want the court cards, I will put the link below. I'm also going to put the links to all of the other cards that I've done below as well. Eight of Wands, I've done that one too. Okay, I have the Five of Wands. Very interesting card. I'm going to talk about the symbolism in the Mucha Tarot, but right now I'm also going to open the Five of Wands from the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot so that we can look at that on the side too. Though I have to say the depictions aren't all that different. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the numerology, because here we have the 5, and the 5 always represents a little bit of a chaotic energy rolling in and destroying stability, because the 4 is usually a card of stability. It's a number of stability, 4 legs to a chair or a table or whatever to make it stable. And you can see this in the Four of Discs, you can see this in the Four of Wands very clearly, that it's about stability. Now with the Five of Wands, we have the continuation of that in the direction of chaos. Because with the Four of Wands, if you remember, we have people celebrating something. With the 5, we have the disruption of that. We have an energy coming in that changes everything, that changes stability to turmoil. It's sort of interesting how it relates to the 8 of Wands, which I also discussed in a single card reading, though I don't know if I uploaded it before this one or after this one, but either way, as you watch this, maybe it exists already, the 8 of Wands tarot deep dive that I did. So we have numerologically this disruption, which is then followed by the 6 of Wands, which is victory and everyone accepting your victory. Before then, we go to the 7 of Wands, and then we have challenging that victory, people challenging that victory. So very interesting progression here. And the 5 is like the middle of the fight. Everyone is equal. Whereas if you compare it to the 7 of Wands, not everyone is equal. One person is at the top and people try to get at that person. Whereas with the 5, yes, in this case, there is one person at the top, but the whole idea is that everyone is sort of equal and on equal ground. Not one person has the high ground necessarily. Same in the Rider-Waite-Smith. Everyone is on the same, like flat plane basically. Now, interestingly, in this card, people are dressed relatively similar, which makes it look more like a training exercise or something. Whereas in the Rider-Waite-Smith, we do have people being dressed quite differently. So that sort of implies the idea of having different ideas, different methods, different minds coming together and quarreling about something. It's not like a bloody fight. It kind of always has the impression of a practice fight, especially because they are all wearing the same helmets in the Mucha Tarot. But still, it's a serious disagreement about something. Even if it's just training, it still shows there are different techniques, different methods being employed, different minds working on the same thing possibly, or working on different things and colliding in that. So it's just a chaotic energy. I'll probably say the word chaotic like 500 times in this video. It's fine. So that is how it fits into the numerology and how it fits into the narrative of the whole suit. Now, I also jumped into symbolism by looking at their clothes. It is quite colorful here as well. In the Rider-Waite-Smith, we have even more different colors representing that chaotic energy, representing that dissonance of opinion, of words, of people, of whatever, of energies in general, disagreeing with each other. In the end, to talk about the warning aspects and the encouraging aspects of this card, I feel like the energy is quite clear. That's why this video might be a little bit shorter than my other ramble videos, because in the end, the warning element is obviously one of disagreement, one of looking out for fights happening within you, and conflict happening within you or without you, as in the external world, and being mindful of that and accepting that energy as well. Conflict and disagreements are not necessarily a negative thing. Sometimes things just have to be figured out, whether it is in the external world with other people or it is within you, that there is a conflict of maybe one part of you, for example, wants to move to a new city and another part of you says, no, I have to stay here, I want that stability. And both aspects of your personality have their arguments, they have their wants that they fight each other with. And it's not a bad thing. It's just a time of conflict that needs to resolve itself. So often I feel like the Five of Wands refers to necessary conflict, because a lot of the time, you know, it kind of seems like a training exercise. They aren't using swords. They aren't literally brutalizing each other and literally killing each other. So it's more about a necessary conflict that needs to be figured out in a relatively harmless way that ideally in the real world doesn't involve violence like in the card, but it involves other methods like communication, like honesty, not holding too much back, being open with your feelings, your thoughts, your opinions, and figuring it out with another person possibly, or figuring it out within yourself. And sometimes that is just necessary. Conflict doesn't always have to be avoided. And I think in that, it's not really just a warning aspect that this card offers to us. It's also the encouraging aspect of, hey, it's going to get better as well, but this conflict is necessary. And it's the same with the Eight of Wands, where we have this turbulent, chaotic energy coming in. And tarot always reminds us that there will be a way out. It's not going to be like this forever. It's just what is happening right now. In the moment, there's conflict. In the moment, there is maybe a heated argument, but that conflict is going to stop at some point as well. So that is always contained in the messages of tarot, because you always go through the suits. There's always more to be seen. So these are the warning and encouraging aspects that I see in this card. If I specifically draw it, usually it's legitimately about like, yeah, there's going to be a fight, like a verbal fight that is going to happen, or some sort of conflict. It's rarely about internal conflict, I would say, though sometimes it is, like confusion, not knowing what to do, a little bit of more aggressive Seven of Cups energy, if you want to compare it to that. It's just like an information for me. It's not a very deep card that I deeply work with. It's a card where I'm like, okay, there's going to be conflict. There is some sort of conflict. There's different sides to this. For example, even if I do a reading about like a decision I want to make, I don't even realize that there are two very different opinions within myself debating it. I'm just like, I'm not sure about the decision. And then if I draw this card, I'm like, oh, I see. There is actually some conflict within myself that I have to resolve. I have to sort of get every part of myself on the same page in order to resolve this. So this card is a reminder of that as well, to maybe work through something in a way where you get on the same page with yourself or with another person. Okay, that was very rambly because this card doesn't have so many symbols in it, but I hope that it was interesting nonetheless. If you liked this video, then please like it and consider subscribing. And you can also check out my other tarot deep dive single card videos in the description box below. I'm going to link them, and I also have a lot of other videos about tarot, about court cards, about many things. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very, very soon.